Hello, everybody. It is right here. Today, we are reacting to my story. Share my story is really that kind of way. I got your votes though. I'll put it right there on the screen right now. You can see what the go. Wait, give me a minute. I'm back. I had to change my setting for reasons because every time I know it's just been a little bit different. But anyway, we're going with like three videos on this channel. So if you want to check out their channel, I'll put that link in the description below. Then let's watch it. So this video we're gonna react to is so I'm in love with a boy, but I can't have. So it's like a girl who wants a boy, but she can't have him. So let's watch it.
Hey, I'm Diana,
Hi,
and I was
Diana.
13 years old when my mom took a job as an in-house maid for a wealthy aristocratic family, which meant that I moved with her into a beautiful castle on the countryside.
Wow.
Frankly, the servants' quarter we slept in was tiny and without heating, so I had to use 3 blankets during winter to keep myself from freezing. I loved it though. After school, I could explore the fields, take care of the animals, or just collect some apples. I also became friends with the nobleman's son, Alfred, who was 3 years older than me. He sometimes took me hunting, which I loved, especially during winter when it was freezing, because then I had an excuse to snuggle up to him. He was really cute, and I knew he liked me. Yet he never made any advances towards me until I turned 14, where he took me to a ski chalet in Zermatt.
Wow.
We had the whole place for ourselves, drank wine, danced, and finally did what teenagers do when they are left to their own without supervision.
Right.
It was the start of our relationship. And when his mom found out we were dating, she even let me move from the servant quarter into a beautiful guest room. I felt like I was a royal myself. Yet not everything was perfect. He was rich, handsome, and smart, which made me feel insecure. I hated that he spent more time with his dog Charlie than with me. And whenever I got close to Charlie, she'd bark at me.
Sorry, it seems she doesn't like you at all.
Of course I was jealous. So one day, while babysitting Alfred's little sister, I poked Charlie with a stick until she was about to attack me. Then I deliberately pressed my arm right into her mouth and let her bite me several times. Afterward, I ran to Alfred. "Oh my God, your dog Charlie tried to attack your sister." Charlie almost bit her neck, but I managed to slide my arm in between them and protect her. Alfred was incredibly grateful that I had saved his sister's life. He decided that keeping Charlie around was too dangerous, and chose to put her to sleep. Thank God it felt good to no longer have to compete for my boyfriend's attention with a dog. I really think we had the perfect relationship. We often talked about our future, and Alfred promised he'd build me and our kids a beautiful neoclassical mansion one day at the French Riviera as a holiday home. When I told him I wanted to get a university degree, he said,
"A degree for what? You can work in my family business. Come on, I thought we were going to travel the world together."
Well, I couldn't say no to that. So from ages 19 to 24, we did nothing but having fun, partying, and exploring the most remote corners of the world. 6 months surfing in Bali, 3 months camping in Yellowstone, an Arctic cruise to watch polar bears. We did all those things. But even traveling becomes boring after a while, and I started to feel that I wasn't making any progress in life. I followed my friends on Instagram and saw them finish their degrees, get their first jobs, or some even got married. It felt like I was falling behind, and so I pressured Alfred to finally propose to me. He gave in, and a week later went on his knees to give me a stunning engagement ring. It was the happiest day of my life, and we immediately went back home to share the news with his parents. His mom seemed happy at first, but a few hours later pulled me aside. "You can't marry my son. You're not a good fit." "Huh? What do you mean?" "Look, I'll give you $400,000 US if you leave him.
What?
Just make up some excuse, break off the engagement, and run away." "No, I can't do that. I love your son more than anything." That's when she lost her patience and called Alfred into the room. "I won't let you marry the daughter of our maid. You want to make the laughingstock of all my friends? You either find an educated, well-mannered girl from a good household, or I will cut you off from all financial support." Alfred argued with his mother the whole evening until he gave up and told me,
I'm infinitely sorry. I love you so much, but I just can't cross my family. If you want, I'll also give you some money to start a new life.
"I don't want your money. I want you. I love you." His mom interrupted me. "Here is your suitcase. Leave now and don't contact my son again. It's so unfair. I had to get a job and move into a small apartment. It's been 8 months now since Alfred and I split up. I haven't tried dating anyone new because I'm still hoping he'll change his mind and come back to me, although that seems increasingly unlikely.
Oh, I feel sorry for her. She can't have her own life with Alfred. I feel sorry for this girl. I feel sorry for that girl who lost her own boyfriend. That's not the same thing where I lost my ex-girlfriend. So let's watch. I became a millionaire in my 20s. It was my job, so let's watch that. I think she gave birth when she's a millionaire in 20s. Let's watch that. It's just weird.
Sorry, I'm not crying. I'd rather be with nobody.
Hey, my name is Victoria, and I've made more than $1 million over the last 6 years being a surrogate mother to a rich couple in California. Wow. The reason I originally got into this occupation is quite sad, though.
Why?
I was 17 and fell in love with a guy called Peter.
Wow.
He was 21 and studying to become a doctor. Yet despite pursuing a medical degree at Stanford, he still found time on weekends to help homeless people and treat their medical issues like infections for free. In other words, I didn't deserve to date someone like him. After all, I was just an obnoxious party girl who got her first STD at age 14. When my gynecologist diagnosed me with my third STD before I had even turned 16, this time I had chlamydia, she got so worried that she threatened to call Child Protective Services on me if it happened again. She even asked me if I was selling my body to men for money. So why would Peter date someone as messed up as me? Because I was hot, of course. Duh. The first time Peter and I met was at a college bar where he found me puking into a urinal.
Are you okay?
Of course. I just wanted to take a sip of water. Can't you see? He helped me up and even brought me home.
Okay, have a good night. And next time don't drink so much.
Wait, you don't want to come inside?
No, you are drunk. I don't want to take advantage of that.
Come on.
Well, we can exchange numbers.
Peter wasn't stupid. He knew perfectly well that I was a mess. But kind people like him often enjoy trying to fix broken people like me. On our first date, I straight up lied to Peter and told him I'd frequently been abused as a child for years. None of it was true, but it made him feel pity for me. We dated for a few years, during which Peter paid for my therapy to overcome my alcoholism. It didn't work, and I kept going to bars on weekends to drink and also cheat on him. It was actually my mom who finally managed to talk some sense into me. She said, "You will never find another guy like Peter. And once he finishes medical school, he'll make a lot of money and can have any girl he wants. So you need to get that ring on your finger now. Go get him." I knew my mom was right. So while I was drunk one night, I got myself pregnant by Peter without his consent. You can figure yourself. Peter wasn't happy to find out that he would become a father, yet he didn't pressure me to get rid of the baby. He only had one demand. He said,
"You have to stop drinking alcohol, or else our baby will end up having birth defects."
I agreed and managed to get sober and stop drinking for the first time since I was 15. Honestly, it felt great. Unfortunately, my sobriety only lasted till I gave birth. Then I immediately relapsed into drinking a whole bottle of vodka each night on my own. I neglected our daughter, and one night Peter found me blackout drunk sleeping on top of her. I almost suffocated her, and Peter had enough. He dumped me that night and took our daughter away from me. All that led to my alcoholism further spiraling out of control, and I had no job or money, so every night I went on dates with guys to let them buy me drinks. I let them sleep with me so they would buy me alcohol. It was pathetic. Of course I wanted to be sober, but each time I tried to stop drinking, I failed, and I slowly developed the conviction that to get sober, I had to become pregnant again, which is why I applied to become a surrogate mother. My first application letter got rejected, probably because I had no high school degree and never held a job. But then I put a lot of effort into faking a law degree and creating an elaborate backstory of me having grown up strictly Mormon. I applied again, and this time I immediately got accepted. They assigned me to a rich Californian couple that wanted to have lots of children but couldn't due to the wife's infertility. They loved that I was a prude Mormon and let me move into their mansion after I got artificially impregnated via in vitro fertilization by the husband. We agreed upon a $150,000 payment per birth.
Wow.
Yet, after I gave birth to their first child, the husband started working from home, which meant he and I suddenly spent a lot of time together while his wife was gone working at her office. Now the husband is paying me an additional $15K a month to be his mistress whenever his wife isn't home. I'm also carrying their sixth child now, and yes, I'm still sober. So although I'm no saint, I'm glad I can help this family out.
Yep. She's just trying to think everything is gonna work. Yep, it's been there. It's been there. It's been there. We're gonna watch like 2 more videos. We're gonna watch one more video. Cause I want to do like 3 videos so I can talk to my sister as quickly as I can so I can get on it. So this video we're going to watch it. This last video we're going to react to is my dad put a camera in my room. I think he's like finding her. This is like girlfriend idea. So let's watch this video.
BetMGM Casino. Download today.
Hey, my name is Suzanne,
Hey,
and
Suzanne.
my dad is super strict.
Yes.
He doesn't let me wear short skirts or makeup,
No.
and if I'm home late by just a minute, I'm grounded for a month.
Wow.
There's no way he'd ever allow me to date anyone.
No.
So, when my cute classmate Larry asked me out, I knew I was going to have to see him in secret. When my parents left home for their usual Friday night date, Larry came over. I thought I was so smart arranging for him to be there while my parents were out. At first, everything was great. We were talking, laughing, not doing anything wrong. But about 10 minutes after Larry arrived, I heard the front door opening. I got really nervous in case it was a burglar. But then I heard my dad coming up the stairs. So I told Larry to hide in the closet. My dad started yelling, "Suzanne, Suzanne, do you have a boy with you?
Oh,
You better not."
I
He came into my
know.
room and headed straight to the closet where Larry was hiding. To this day, I have no idea how my dad knew he was there. He sent Larry home, but I knew that wouldn't be the end of it. I wasn't supposed to have friends over when my parents weren't home, especially not a boy. So I knew I'd be punished. I thought I'd just be grounded, but that wasn't enough for my dad. He put a big video camera in my room and hooked it up to the internet so he could watch me anytime from his smartphone. It was so creepy. I could never relax in my own room. I was always stressed someone might hack into the camera to spy on me. But when I told my dad, he said I should worry about more important things, like being a well-behaved daughter. As if that wasn't bad enough, the next Monday, I got my report card. My grades were bad. Really bad. It was all C's and D's. I knew my dad would be angry, but this time, he didn't yell at me. He just said, "All right, I don't expect you to be good in every subject, but I want you to pick 2 subjects to focus on." I told him I liked English and history the most, so he said, "I want you to study just English and history for an hour every day. If you get a B+ or better in both subjects next year, I'll get rid of the camera in your room, and you can have a boyfriend." You can't imagine how happy I was. I ran to my dad and gave him a big hug. He was actually being reasonable, and being allowed to have a boyfriend was a huge motivation for me. For the next 6 months, I worked really hard on English and history. I wasn't allowed to miss a single day's study. So even if I was sick, I'd still sit at my desk for an hour and stare at a textbook so it looked like I was working. When it was time to get my grades, I was very nervous. I thought I'd done well because of how much work I'd done, but you never know. First, I got my history results, and I couldn't believe it. I got an A+. However, when I got my English grade, I only got a B. I was devastated. I'd worked so hard, but it wasn't quite good enough. When I showed my dad my grades, he was very proud of my A+ in history, but he said that because I didn't get a B+ in English, I still wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend. However, he said he would remove the camera inside my room. So that was good. The funny thing is, I kind of miss the camera now. It gave me a sense of order. Since I'm not being watched anymore, I don't work as hard. And although I like the idea of being really good at something, it's hard to stay focused when I'd rather be texting my friends or watching YouTube. Well, thank you for listening to my story, and please subscribe to this channel.
Serious that gave me how I never was with the camera though. Gives me that idea. Okay, I love sharing my story. Share my story got good videos I never ever seen in my life on that year. They are not playing with anything. I hope they can make more videos on this. On it so we can react to more of them. So if I really want to start playing with story anime because I love doing it. Because you guys want me to react to it because you don't want my feet, but thank you for that because I don't want my feet on my Justin. And just dance because again, PlayStation move on June 19th, so when we get July 19th, so I'm going to right here join the Curious Squad. Love you. Bye bye.